Ooh, my breakfast is just like me. Cheesy.
What's with the little band up there?
Well, I'm the princess in my story. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday, we go live on Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time it's Monday morning, you'll be alerted to it.
It is Monday, April 4th.
Yes.
Right?
It's weird when you have a month that starts on a Friday,
yeah.
Right? Like, it felt like a false start, and I bet there are some people that are like, I'm going to start tracking April 4th. Because Monday feels like a better restart day.
Yeah, we were always that way, right? When you were going to start a new eating lifestyle, a diet, something like that, it had to be Monday, all right? And right. Sunday was party day.
Exactly.
Sunday was, I'm going to gain 15 pounds because I'm about to go on a diet and I'm going to lose it, so why not enjoy myself?
The Last Supper.
Of course, like, I literally would probably gain like 5 pounds on that Sunday prior. And I would never actually even lose the initial weight, but now I'm up 5 more pounds as well.
You know when I was really in trouble? When I decided I'm going to do something January 1st and it was September. Because I'm like, okay, yes, January 1st is a great start date, but then I've got like September, October, November, and December.
Party on.
Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth.
Okay, so how is the tracking going for you guys? For me, I'm learning some things.
Me too.
I'm definitely learning, not bad things, not good things, but not bad. Like, just I'm learning some things. Like, one of the things I'm learning is I haven't been eating enough lately. And again, we're only a couple days in, but a lot of it has to do with all of my teeth work. It's very difficult to get 200 grams of protein and your fat and everything in when you're pretty much on a soft food diet. And the problem is I keep going, okay, I need to up my food a little bit. And what ends up happening is I venture out into something that's not a soft food and I knock out the front teeth again.
Yeah.
So, and then it's back to the soft food. But then what's really frustrating for me is I don't see a scale movement.
Yes.
So that's even more frustrating. But I do believe that a lot of the not scale movement is stress,
inflammation,
and sleep, because I have been averaging 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night for the last week and a half. So that's not a good thing. So it's something that I am currently working on, and that's something else that I'm tracking.
I am so proud of you, though, because your attitude when you're talking about this shines through, which is, I'm having some trouble. I know that my trouble is linked to a situation going on in my life.
That I can't control.
An extenuating circumstance. However, that does not give me permission to opt out of doing the right thing. I'm going to have to find a way, even in the midst of this circumstance, to do the right thing to get me to the goals that I have set for myself. Because I think a lot of times what happens is we have a circumstance in life or a stressor, and we are like, well, it's going to be hard for me to, reach all of my health challenges that I have for myself. And so I'm just going to pause.
Right.
But it's in the midst of this kind of circumstance where you can't stop. It would be really detrimental to the healing process going on in your mouth and your body to just be like, okay, well, I will deal with eating correctly later.
Yeah. So yesterday, I actually ended up making a pound of ground beef. We did 90-10 ground beef.
Uh-huh.
And then what I did was I mixed in 1 tablespoon of cream cheese and 2 eggs. And we kind of scrambled it, and I was able to get that down. And that was really good. And I think we may have that again today.
It was tasty.
And then also, I've got another corned beef I want to cook up. not necessarily just to have corned beef as a meal, but what I really enjoy is corned beef mixed in my eggs.
Yeah.
And
some texture.
Yesterday, we went over to our other campus for church.
It was
we went
so
to our
neat.
Lighthouse Point campus. And I was, aside from the fact that I was really, really excited about going to the Lighthouse Point campus, John Paul on Saturday sent me a picture of Zevia on a manager special for $1.99. And he said to me, I'm like, oh, is that Sprouts? I could recognize the sign. He's like, yes. I'm like, awesome. I'm going to be at Lighthouse Point. It's right next to Sprouts.
Wait a second.
What?
Were you more excited about the possibility of Zevia than
No,
seeing
I wasn't
these
more
children?
excited, but it kind of aided to, like, I was excited that I was going to be at Lighthouse Point, which happens to be right next door to Sprouts.
All right.
So I go into Sprouts, and of course, it wasn't in our store. It was probably only his store. It was a manager special.
Right.
Our store, the Zevia, was $4.99, so I didn't get any Zevia.
Were you like, dang it?
But as I was walking up and down the aisles, don't ever go to Sprouts when you're hungry. As I was walking up and down the aisles looking for what's on sale, and I always go down, like, what are all the coupons? One of the things I was like, oh, they have sliced roast beef or sliced corned beef.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some of that for my eggs. $13.99 a pound.
Wow.
I'm not going to get that for some of my eggs. I'm going to come home, cook up a corned beef, and slice it up, and we can eat some for dinner, and then we can also have some as, like, for my eggs and stuff, because I'm not paying $13.99 a pound for corned beef.
No.
And then we ended up doing a couple of other things, and while I was there, they had a coupon for this, and we love this, but it's kind of a danger zone for us. So that's what's in our coffee today. So coffee today is 40 ounces of coffee split between the two of us, an egg, and then 6 tablespoons of this, which is 2 servings. So if you're curious, what is in this? Purified water, cream, milk protein isolate, MCT oil, monk fruit, natural flavors, potassium phosphate, and gland gum. So pretty clean ingredients. 40 calories for 3 tablespoons. 3.5 grams of fat, 2 grams of protein with 0 carbs. Rounded up, 1 carb.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's really nice, and if you haven't tried Super Coffee before, like their creamers, it really gives you a fun coffee.
Right.
Like if you're used to iced coffee, it mixes really well with iced coffee too, or hot coffee. It's really nice. It's got a good flavor to it.
So Rachel's having 3 eggs, an ounce of that chorizo that we get from Costco.
So good.
And then 1 tablespoon of this Mateo's.
Which really reminds me of like the homemade that we would get at our local like Mexican restaurant. So
right.
I'm really enjoying it.
I'm pulling up your chronometer. And then my breakfast is, so this, I made 3 of them at once.
It looks thick.
It was 1 package of strawberry keto chow.
Okay.
I'm going through all my individual packets.
Right, that's good.
1 package of strawberry keto chow. 1 package of natural strawberry keto chow. And 1 package of banana. All mixed together.
Wow.
So I had 3 of those shakes. And then, so this is 1 of them. And then it's made with 2.5 tablespoons of butter, each one of them. And then I put 1/2 packet of the chocolate salt element in here because I always add more salt to my keto chow anyway.
Quite the concoction.
So now I've got like chocolate covered strawberry banana.
Wow. Okay.
And then I put a little bit of ice to kind of like make it colder. If you're curious, so I'll put the macros for this stuff across the bottom of the screen. This is just a keto chow shake. So you're looking, off the top of my head, you're looking at about 350 calories for this because, I'd have to put it in with all the different flavors and stuff. Rachel's breakfast is going to be, with her coffee, 577 calories. We don't care about calories. But again, here's the thing. How do you get protein? That's what people always ask. I don't understand how can I get 120, 130, 150 grams of protein in. Your little meal here, which I don't feel like was a lot of money.
No.
A lot of money.
Well, it wasn't a lot of money
food,
either.
43 grams of protein.
Wow.
Okay, so 43 grams of protein, 42 grams of fat, and then 7 total carbohydrates. So, where are the carbohydrates coming from? 3 in your coffee, and that's just for the black coffee. It's 2.8 from the black coffee. Okay, and then...
Sad but true.
And then also your eggs have, like, one egg has 0.6 carbs, so that's another couple carbs for your 3 eggs. So
Yeah.
it adds up quickly, which is again why we're tracking, right? And we're not saying don't eat eggs. We're not saying don't drink coffee. What we're saying is just be aware of things. You know, you don't even have to track for like hitting your macros, but
Right.
just to be able to track by putting things in, taking a look at things, even if you're just pulling out a tracking app like Chronometer and opening up and before you eat it going, what exactly is in here? Oh, I forgot that there's a carb in an egg. I forgot that all heavy whipping cream has carbs.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, you know, that bacon has that much fat in it. It's good to every once in a while kind of put things back in their place and just get you back on track.
Well, and for me, I have lately had about 5 of these a day. You know, mostly they're black. This is the one that I have like something to lighten it up in there and, you know, sweeten it up, whether it's keto chow or, you know, super coffee or whatever. But as I was reminded in tracking that there's about 3 carbs in here, if I am having 5 coffees a day, which I could easily have because I will use it throughout the day. It's easy to just reach for something and drink when I'm, you know, working. That would be 15 carbs a day that I'm incorporating and kind of mindlessly consuming. So if I am setting a total carb cap for 20 total carbs, but then I'm having another 15 carbs with coffee that I'm just never thinking about, I may get frustrated at the end of the week going like, gosh, what is going on? It feels like I've got more carbs than I realize, right? Like, so it's just nice. So what I've been doing this week or last week and going into this week is switching out for carbonated water, because I'm getting my daily minerals in. I think that's a good thing. And I just need to reach for something and drink it. So it really doesn't matter to me what it is that I am consuming.
So I just made a whole bunch of bacon.
Smells delicious in here.
Keep this in the refrigerator because I'm going to make lunch right now. And what I like to do is I take chopped up pieces of bacon, put it in our eggs, or today we're going to put it in our ground beef. And my brand new...
No! Did it get baconed?
What is the downside of keto?
Grease.
It is, I get grease on everything. So yeah, I got big grease splatters right here from cooking the bacon. So I sprayed it with a bunch of like the Dawn spray dish detergent, and we're going to go ahead and wash it, but you can see it there. So we're going to try to get this washed right now and get it off. But I mean, bacon. Do you want to eat bacon? Or do you want to not eat bacon because you're going to get grease?
Get an apron.
That's a good idea. Okay, so we're going to make some lunch/dinner. This is probably going to be the biggest meal of the day. It's about 2:30, and I have a game at 5 o'clock. So I should be good eating now, and then maybe after my game, I'll have like a half a serving of keto chow ice cream or something like that, because that's going to be somewhere around 7 o'clock. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up a pound of ground beef. This is the beef from the cow that we bought. So this is about 90-10. We're going to go ahead and cook it on the Blackstone, and then we're going to add in a bunch of yummy ingredients. So I made some bacon a little while ago, and I pushed most of the bacon grease down into the trap in the back. And these little droplets left, that's what I'm going to use for actually cooking the ground beef. So first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and put our ground beef on here. And again, this is 1 pound, and we're going to split it between the 2 of us. We're going to basically just brown up the ground beef and add some seasoning to it. What I like about this is it cooks up very, very quickly. And you can see there is very, very little fat in this. It's probably closer to like 93 or something like that. Not even 90-10. One thing I'd rather do though is guess that it's 90-10 and think that I had a little bit more fat than I actually had, rather than saying, yeah, it's 93.7, and then saying, oh, well, I didn't eat as much fat and I can add it somewhere else. Okay, now that it's almost cooked, I'm going to go ahead and take an egg that I scrambled up, and I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. Now what I'm going to do is take about a tablespoon of cream cheese, actually 2 tablespoons, but I'm dividing it up, and we're going to go ahead and mix that in, and that's going to add a little bit of fat back into the ground beef, and also a whole bunch of flavor. Usually I would soften this ahead of time, but I just pulled it out of the refrigerator, so it'll take a little bit longer for it to melt down. And while that's happening, I've got 4 slices of bacon that I already pre-cooked. We're going to go ahead and add that in. And then I have 2 tablespoons of these chopped green chilies from Old Paso. We're going to go ahead and add that in there. And give all this a mix. And then finally, I'm going to take a half a serving of spicy taco keto chow and just kind of sprinkle it across and mix all that in. And if you want it more like a gravy, you can add a little bit of water in here. If you have a lot of fat in your beef, you don't even need to do that. But for me, I find this perfect with this is a half a scoop. If you have something that has a lot of fat in there and you're trying to maybe like an 85-15 or an 80-20, use an entire scoop of the keto chow. And you can use tomato basil, you could use the beef, or you could use the spicy taco. You could use the creamy chicken, but I don't want to mix the chicken flavor with the beef and the bacon in here.
Let the sun shine. Let the sun shine in.
Rachel took our bench, so we have to eat standing
Gotta
up.
We're so busy we can't sit down to eat, is the thing.
Okay, we're having some lunch. So I showed you what I made. It doesn't look super appetizing.
No.
I know, like the eggs and the cream cheese
No
all
one
mixed together.
is putting this on a cover of a magazine.
But it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
And it's honestly just throwing stuff together. The egg and the cream cheese really bring out a lot of flavors within the ground beef, and they make a nice gravy in there.
It's ugly good.
And then I add all the keto chow in there to give some more flavor, up the protein a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I love this. So basically we're having 2 soft tacos is what we're going to call it. And what I did was we just have these egg life wraps. These are the Southwest styles.
Nice to grab
I
and go.
believe that that's what I had in the Ziploc bag. Whatever we do is
Yes.
we open them up and then we throw them in a Ziploc bag, and sometimes I throw out the bag that's in there, but they look like the Southwest ones.
Precisely the ones you have.
And then I have just a little bit, it's like 1 tablespoon each of that Mateo's salsa on top. I'm going to go ahead and try this.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be eating it this way because I know I'm going to bite it and my tooth's going to come out.
Oh, please don't.
Mmm.
Still there?
For now. It's really good.
Non-scale victory.
I will probably deconstruct it, eat it with a spoon, because I can't really bite down because my front tooth will come out.
I am also going to deconstruct it because it takes longer for me to eat.
So we're going to go ahead and eat, and then I got to get ready for my game, do some more work on the computer, and you're going to continue to do kids ministry, right? So I just got home from my game. Rachel had to run some errands to get some things for church. So I'm going to have a little bit of dinner, and I'm going to have a can of chicken, which this is really clean ingredients in this chicken. There's 3 ounces in a serving, 4 servings container, 90 calories per serving, and each serving is 19 grams of protein. So that'll be a whole bunch of protein, and then I'm going to have about an ounce of these cheese curds that I got at Sprouts yesterday.
That was delicious.
Rachel, we needed to film it.
I was hungry though. You don't understand. Sorry. It was yogurt and it was topped with the keto granola, but like the blueberry one that's more breakfasty.
Okay, so it's Monday morning. We didn't want to turn the camera on last night. I got home from my game.
It's Tuesday morning. That's how tired you are.
It is. I am tired because I'm thinking about how much I have to do this week. Next Tuesday, we are leaving to go to Utah, and we're going to be gone for 8 days. We're not leaving until the evening, but it's still 8 days. It's Tuesday to Tuesday.
So you got all of the prep work. It's something to look forward to. It keeps you on track.
But it stresses me out thinking about everything that I have to do to get to that point.
But at least it's a busy week that ends with you having like this major award of getting to like get out of town.
Like
right?
I've got to finish the taxes, which I'm almost done with, but I have like a dentist appointment tomorrow.
I can't even have that discussion with you again.
I was supposed to have, I was like Thursday and Friday were my days that I'm like, I'm going to get a lot of work done because I didn't have any games. And last night at my game, I got assigned 4 games.
You may have to give back, friends.
I gave back the Thursday games. I gave them back. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And he was like, I need you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but like I already have my week planned out. And I can't take the constant being notified 24 to 48 hours beforehand that you need to be somewhere.
Yeah.
I understand. Once in a blue moon, it happens. Somebody backed out. Something happened, and I'm fine if I'm available. But yeah, no, I just have too much going on right now because I'm also dealing with my teeth. And even next Tuesday, the dentist wants me to come in to fit me for the other teeth. But I'm like, I have to cut grass.
Please let it
And then we
in.
have to leave. So these teeth are tomorrow. But next Tuesday, I have another appointment. I'm like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do an appointment on the same day that we have to leave.
Sometimes the best thing that you can do is say no to somebody. And I know that that's hard, and we are people pleasers from way back, right? Like, I never want to tell somebody I am drowning underneath the weight of responsibility that I have in this space, or I just can't go out to eat with you today. I would love to have a play date. I can't have a play date. Like, it's very hard for me to say no, but I have to remember when I say yes to something, I'm saying no to something else. So if you say...
So long as you never say no to me.
Right. But if you say no to this lacrosse game, you are saying yes to less panic and less, speeding up and room for error in other areas
Otherwise,
of your life.
just doing the lacrosse creates more stress for me, and stress is already my issue.
Yeah.
Okay, I have something else I want to talk about real quick before we end this, but so your breakfast was 3/4 of a cup of our yogurt, so that's 1.5 servings. I did modify it in Chronometer to have the whey removed. It's probably actually got less carbs than what that says, but I'm always going to tell you to round up. Always round up. It will hurt you more to round down than it does to round up. It's one of the reasons why in the Chronometer video, I talk about like when you're doing something like cooked ground beef or even a cooked burger, my advice is going to always be to use the figure that is raw ground beef. The reason I say that is because, again, you'd be making an error in your favor. For example, let's say we take a 1/2 pound of 90-10 ground beef and we turn it into a hamburger patty and we cook it in a pan.
Right.
Okay? Is there going to be some fat that's cooked off? Yes. Okay? Raw, I think it's like somewhere around 38 grams of protein. Don't hold me to these numbers. I'm thinking off the top of my head. And like 20 grams of fat.
Yes.
That's raw. So cooked, it means some of that fat is probably still in the pan.
Right.
Right? I would rather put in a Chronometer that I had that fat, and then at the end of the day, I actually ate less fat than what I recorded, because it's okay to not get all of the fat in. Rather than if, let's say, Chronometer says that a cooked one only has 10 grams of fat, and when I put it on my plate, more fat ended on my plate than Chronometer.
Then it's an error against you.
Now I think I ate 10 grams of fat, but maybe I really ate 15 grams. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me, it's always better to, it's like if your yogurt, if the machine says it's 2 carbs, but there's really only 1 carb, at the end of the day, what's the worst thing that happened? I thought I ate 2, and I only ate 1.
Can I tell you why that is a good policy for me? Because I am very extremely prone to get emotional about what happens by the end of the week. Mm-hmm. So let's say I have in my mind, I've been good. Right. I have been really good. I have kept track of everything. I'm writing everything down. I'm eating keto food. By the end of the week, I expect to see results. And if there is healing going on in my body, if it just needs to take longer to show up on the scale, or maybe it shows up in my clothes and doesn't show up on the scale, but that's still not good enough for me, I am likely to come back and be like, see, I even took all of the fat off of my bacon. Like, it's just lending to the argument I'm going to have with frustration.
Now, the one exception to use the raw over the cooked would be bacon.
Oh, because
bacon is like got twice as much fat as protein.
You can half it.
Raw. Well, nobody's eating raw bacon. Okay,
right.
So
please
just
don't.
Use the cooked piece. So and pretty much most of the packages, if you look at the package of bacon, it says like 1 slice cooked.
Right.
You may, if you overcook it, you may even have less fat in that, but just go by that figure. I think that's a good way to go with it. Again, it's like carbs. Like, we follow total carbs. If you look at our last couple of, blog posts where we have our nutrition, we're like 20, 30 total carbs because we're doing keto chow. I know that the acacia fiber isn't digested in my body.
Right.
But
Count it.
I'd rather just put it in there and be like, yeah, I had 30 total carbs. Now my body only digested 10 of them, but I'm good with that.
Well,
it's an error in my favor.
Well, because here, let me be honest. I will take the cooked hamburger or bacon, but then if you put me in charge of getting a tablespoon of peanut butter out of the jar, I'm not sitting there with a scale making sure that I get the absolute result right. It's like there's the spoon and it's like a mound that big. Like
so it's probably 2 tablespoons.
So I don't think that I track everywhere so meticulously.
So last night I got home from my game and I had like 3 slices of oven roasted turkey breast that I got from BJ's, just like lunch meat. And I know lunch meat's not perfect, but it's fine.
A little bit easier for you to.
It's easier for me to eat.
chew.
Once in a while, it's not going to hurt you. And a couple slices of Swiss cheese.
Ooh, that's safe in our house.
Well, I love Swiss cheese.
No one's going to take that from you.
And then we had 1 keto chow creamy split between the 2 of us pistachio. So it's 1 serving of pistachio, 3 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon of tarragon. So before we go, I wanted to mention something on the chronometer video from yesterday.
Yeah.
So one of the things we were talking about was when we did This Is Editing Joe, is
the part where I put my bra on?
Yes.
Okay.
If you are actively trying to lose weight, okay, I think it really applies for anybody, even if you're trying to maintain. Unless you are a beast of an athlete, if you're a robber and you are consistent.
Am I a beast of an athlete?
When it comes to
Probably not.
2 hours a day, every day in the gym kind of thing. If you're a Bronson Dant, that kind of thing. If you're actively trying to lose weight or even maintain your weight, you are better off to not take into account your activity level as far as the amount of calories that you consumed for the day and how many your goal is. In other words, so that number. So if you're supposed to be eating, if your maintenance weight, goal is 2,000 calories a day. And again, I don't like talking about calories. I like talking about energy, but everybody wants to talk calories.
Right.
So if your maintenance calories were 2,000 a day, and you want to lose 1 pound a week, and so that means you eat 500 calories less, your thing should be 1,500 calories. It shouldn't be, well, today I burned 3,000 calories because of the thermogenic effect of food, and, I worked out for 3 hours, and that's what my watch says. Because that's not a super accurate number to begin with.
Right.
So if you do that, now you're going to say, okay, well, that means I can eat 2,500 calories. That will be a detriment. So who should be using those? Somebody who is not trying to lose weight.
Okay.
Right? And they're a beast of an athlete where they're consistently working out and they know their body needs that fuel and they will maintain it that way. And that will become like trial and error. Like Robert and Bronson and Danny Vega and even people like Maitreya who are not trying to lose weight. They know their body and they've gotten to the point where they're like, okay, I'm doing all of this exercise, and to not continue to lose weight, I need to eat more. I know during lacrosse season, generally if I'm not trying to lose weight, I need to eat more. I mean, in past seasons, I was having to eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories to maintain weight.
Well, they might even use some of the features in Chronometer where you're being like, and you're naming it leg day, 1-to-1 day,
right?
So that they can break out and just go ahead and
if they're doing a run day, where they need more,
and they can adjust their macros right on that level to be like, hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my energy is going to be way up there because I'm anticipating a lot of working out, and I'm going to go ahead and be ahead of this situation.
But I wanted to clarify that because I did see a couple of comments about it. So for 98% of our audience.
And me.
Okay. Just use your basal metabolic rate having a lightly active, and that would be it. But again, I'm going to strongly encourage you, don't look at calories, look at your grams of protein and fat. But I know we all get concentrated on calories. But again, we're not in a glass chamber. That's how they determine calories. And your body may differ. If you go by calories and your metabolism is screwed up, you could be where Rachel was with 500, calories gaining weight.
This is what I would look like in a glass chamber. I just want to show that.
So, but again, and if you have questions or, on how to use more chronometer, go ahead over to that video, leave them, and we will try to answer them. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we've linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video, which I'm going to put right over here.
Well, whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon. And that way, every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time,
Bye.